Jehovah saves. Now, the fascinating tie-in here is that his name is the name given to Joseph in Matthew chapter 1 in a dream. Gabriel tells Joseph in that dream, you need to, in essence, adopt Mary's baby when he is born, and you are going to name him, and you need to name him Jesus. So that's the name that we get in English. And then Angel Gabriel says, you need to name him Jesus because he will save his people. Well, the name Jesus in English doesn't imply salvation all by itself, just as a name. But in its ancient context, Joseph, you need to name this little baby Yehoshua, because Jehovah saves his people. He is going to save all of his people.
This is Jehovah who's going to save his people. And we've shared before, the name is the lesson. Even Jesus himself embodies, his name embodies what he's doing. He's saving us.
So if you look at this, if you take a 30,000-foot view here, here's Jerusalem, the promised land. Over here is Egypt. Remember the symbolic connection that we talked about before, earlier on in the year, of this idea of the promised land being a nice metaphor or a simile, a symbol, if you will, for heaven, where we start in heaven, in a promised land, and then we leave heaven and we come down to this symbol for the earth, Egypt. While we're here in this fallen earth mortal condition, we fall into slavery or servitude to the natural tendencies of this condition that we're in. And so God sends a deliverer to bring us out. So Moses brings us out, a nice symbol for Christ, played by Moses, in all of that experience of taking them through the wilderness and helping make sure they have food and water and protection and guidance and direction through those 40-year wanderings, because they refused to go in. And as Taylor pointed out, there were only two people back here, Caleb and Joshua, who have experienced all of this, who are still alive at this point when we enter the promised land. So then you get all of those stories to this point. Moses is then translated. Now Joshua takes over. Jehovah saves. Now they're going to enter the promised land, and we're going to symbolically part the veil, the Jordan River, so we can pass through and enter into our rest, enter into the holy, sacred, promised land, which for us would be heaven. Well, we don't do that ourselves. God sends somebody to open that gate for us, and Jesus is the way. He is the gate or the door whereby we enter. So he is the one who is going to do everything in our story today. If there's anything powerful or anything good that happens, it's not Joshua and it's not the people who are doing it independent of heaven. It's the Lord God of Israel. It's Jehovah who saves his people.